What's up, you guys? We're back, and this is pretty loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. Hold on. It's a little better. Alright, y'all. So, we're here, and we got some really fucking cool Pokemon to talk about. So, Kingdra. Kingdra was pretty shit, man. I mean, that's a hot take. Shit in terms of, like, how strong it should be, and also shit in terms of, like, over the generations, like, yeah, it has Sniper, Focus Energy, and it has Swift Swim, and those are good, and it has good stats technically, but it doesn't excel at any one thing, but the typing and the solid bulk and ability to do good in rain have made it pretty solid over the course of competitive, but in game it's pretty shit. Kinda, I don't know, it's not bad or anything. I'm not trying to claim it's bad, but very underwhelming in my opinion. And I actually have a very newfound appreciation for this line, just off the merits of buffing them a bunch and making them a lot more viable and fun to use. I think it's, I don't know, I never really thought about it, but they're actually pretty fucking cool, man. I like Seadra and Kingdra especially, they're pretty cool. So, as always, I will start with some major elephants in the room, or things that are, you'll look at them and you'll be like, what's that? Why is that? And then I'll talk about the actual nitty gritty of the mechanics and the ways to abuse them and all that stuff. So a couple major things. Number one, that pink people might find weird is Seadra's typing change. As it says here, Dragon Pokemon. Even Horsey, I could probably have made Dragon, and I feel like you could have made an argument for it, but I was willing to keep Horsey pure water. Also for balancing reasons, but I think it's fine as pure water, judging from the dex entries and the appearance of it. But Seadra especially looks very draconic in nature, and there are dragons that are less dragony, for sure. 100, and also it has Dra in the name, as in dragon. I don't think anybody's going to complain about it too much in this hack, because again, everything is power crept and buffed and stronger, and so making this mon that you're going to keep at the level 45, spoiler alert, is dragon is totally fair. But if anybody else was wondering, yeah, that's why. I mean, dude, if fucking Gumi and Sliggoo can be dragons, and Seadra can definitely be dragon, and that's not me saying that Gumi and Sliggoo, that's not me saying they shouldn't be dragon, that's just me saying if they can be, then Seadra 100% can be, and if anybody has any issues with it, I think that's more so just what's the word I'm thinking of? Not hesitance, but people. I wouldn't say visceral in this case, but I guess you could just say, I don't know the word for it. Apprehension. There we go. Apprehension to change. Apprehension. God, English is so hard, y'all. English is a hard language. People would be apprehensive to changes to this change, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. But that being said, I like to talk about the other more interesting stuff. So number one, there are pseudos. There are tons of new pseudos, and there are actually semi-pseudos, which I haven't gotten the chance to talk about in a change guide yet in depth, because there haven't been any since I started doing these. But semi-pseudos are pretty common, actually. Mons with 575 and 600 base stat total are pretty common. I guess technically Steelix is a pseudo, despite not being 3-stage. So here's what I'll say. There's true pseudos that I've created where they're 3-stage mons, and then those mons will follow the stat trend of 350 base stat total, first stage, of also level 25, 480 base stat total, which is equal to like the other lower, which is still good. Like 480 is a great base stat total. Pardon. It's not like that's bad or anything. It's very good, but that's technically the lower end of fully evolved mons in hack. Like most of those are level 20 evolutions, so the pseudo will evolve at level 25, which is significantly later than the level 20 evos because of the fact that they're pseudos. They still evolve later than the average mon. Like these will be the last Pokemon in the hack to evolve. Besides maybe a couple like random legendaries, I think. But I mean, I don't even, the only legendary that's gonna evolve is gonna be Carbink, I think. So, and like maybe what the fuck is this called? Cosmog and Cosmo. But otherwise, yeah. Point being, they all follow this trend of evolution level and base stat total. So yeah, 350, 480, 600. I was gonna make it 475, so it goes 125 plus each time. But I guess it's not too late to do that, is it? Are there any other pseudos in the hack yet? Also, every generation has at least like 2. I believe every gen has 2, maybe 3, depending on if you count as Kingdra as Kanto or not. But there will be pseudos, trust me. And honestly, pseudos are not as broken as you would think, or as amazing as you'd think, because most of them, actually no, literally all of them for the most part, all of the ones that were originally pseudos and the vast majority of the new pseudos I'm creating will all be mixed attackers, and the reason for that is that the reason I justified it, the high base totals for Mons, 575, 600, is because when they have mixed attacking stats, a lot of the base stats get, I wouldn't say wasted, but they get used up on their other offensive stat. Meanwhile, Pokemon with like fucking Rhyhorn, 20 plus special attack, whatever the fuck, just the first thing that showed up. These guys would be much higher base totals. They're mixed attackers, is my point. So 600 is not as high as you'd think. Base stat totals not everything. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, but for those of you who haven't really clocked that, there you go. So yeah, there's pseudos. It fits them perfectly. I think I've even heard like common casual people be like, yeah, Kingdra should be a pseudo. So yeah, pretty necessary change. Also, just for the base stat total is the main reason. I mean, I like to do stuff for flavor and for logic, but ultimately it is for the mechanics and the balancing of the hack, and Kingdra definitely fits all of those, takes all those boxes. So that's some really cool stuff. Otherwise, not too much else that's gonna seem super obvious or strange. I guess I'll quickly just address like some other weird crap people might see. Coil. I believe there's already decks to talk about them coiling up, and they obviously are seahorses, and those can coil up, so I think it fits well enough, and I think it's very useful. And the main reason I give them that, and also the main reason I gave them Swords Dance, is to justify the use of their lower physical attack stats on both sets. They both get great physical moves overall, and the music is looping now. This is getting kind of annoying. Let me play a different remaster of Dragon's Den if I can find one. Or like, I don't know, Dragon's Den OST. Let's type that in and see what happens. Oh god, this fucking okay, let's see if this is good. It's quiet. What the fuck? They got a track remix of Dragon's Den. It's crazy. I'll play it though, why not? Fuck it, we'll see if it's good. Hopefully these people don't mind me using their music. I'm sure this is fine. I don't like this so far. Let me turn it down a little bit. Also, sorry guys. All right, back to what I was saying. So pre-evolutions. So a lot of the pseudos, the second stages, obviously because you're keeping them until level 45, are really good. Like they're good on their own. They will totally be usable until level 45. This is not great, man. Oh. Okay, wait, now I'm feeling it. Let me go back. I got a little ahead of myself. That's not best. That's pretty good. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, the previews are strong. Like they are totally viable on their own, and Seadra is no exception. So water dragon typing is great. Literally only two weaknesses. One of them is which itself. One of them which is itself rather, and the other one is fairy, which they have stuff to combat, being spike cannon, iron head, and flash cannon, and sludge bomb, and all these poison moves. So they have tons of stuff coverage to hit fairies with. This goes kind of hard. Bobbing my head and shit. It's crazy. Why does this go so hard? Okay, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to focus when it's like actually when it's music that like I thought it was hard for me to focus. That's why I like to play ambient shit in the back in these videos. But as I was saying, swift swim, rapid fire. So stats are great. I guess another thing that people might find weird is spell stinger. And also all of these poison moves like Baneful Bunker and Barbarage, all this crap, is because Seadra is literally poisonous, and like half of its deck movies it talks about the venom it has and how it toxic spikes and its venom hurts and fainting from the spikes. And Felstinger logically has already been given the Pokemon in the real games who have stingers, not just like a literal stinger like a scorpion or a bee, but also like stingers like on their body, like pins, like Togedemaru gets it, I believe, and some other random shit. Quillfish, which is literally the same logic as Seadra. So, point is, any Pokemon with like poisonous barbs or venom or pins on it they can shoot them or use them as weapons against Felstinger, and that's a great move. That also, so a lot of stuff that encourages the physical sets, I guess. But I'll get more into the nitty gritty of that in a little bit. Other weird things people might find odd is Thunder and Thunderbolt, but fucking Dragonite and a bunch of other dragons get them. This motherfucker literally creates storms by existing. It creates whirlpools by yawning, tornadoes as it wakes. That's why they give it Hurricane and Gen 8, which is super fucking dope, by the way. But yeah, Hurricane, like Storm is it's arriving in storms. Thunder 100% fits. Thunderbolt is a little weirder, but I mean technically Thunderbolt is just a weaker Thunder. It just doesn't have the rain effect because it's totally accurate on its own. And yeah, Thunderbolt is kind of odd. It's not actually odd though when you remember that fucking dragon and all those other dragons get it. So Kingdra getting them on that summon storms is totally fine as well. Same reason they actually get Hurricane in Gen 8 if you think that's odd. They literally get that move in Gen 8. That being said, I can actually cover the usage of them now. So Horsey is totally great from when you can catch it to one of the balls. Good stats, good special attack, solid bulk overall compared to how shit it was before. Relatively pretty fast actually. You can run uninvested Swift Swim sets with 0 speed investment and completely blaze through the entire their entire team in terms of speed. So Rain Dance TM is at the beginning of the game. Is this on loop? Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure I don't have to manually replay it. Swift Swim is great, absolutely amazing. Rain Dance TM is one of the first TMs you can buy, so you can just slap that on your Horsey and then eventually your Kingdra and just sweep stuff onto the rain. Very strong, very good. In early game, you can also use like Weather Ball in the rain, which is a really strong water move early game, because otherwise you have Water Pledge, which is 80 base power, 25% chance to boost special attack. Meanwhile, Weather Ball is 90 base power overall with a 50% chance to drop special defense, so that's technically better. Only downside is you can't use that outside of the rain for Water Stab, but specifically for self-setting Swift Swim sets, you can just swap Water Pledge and Weather Ball on and off because they're both TMs and tutors, so they're infinite use, so you can just use that as you please. That being said, tons of great stuff. They have dual stab priority, Aqua Jet, Bubble Shot, and Twister, and Draco Jet, so they have priority on both ends. Physical moves, they have tons of great stuff. Scum Shot is because it's based off Octazooka, which is like shooting ink. So the logic for Scum Shot is that they shoot... come on, can this load? Is that they shoot ink or like some type of dark, foul, nasty muck, and that poisons and flinches. It's basically like a single-use fake out that also poisons. That's special and 60 base power, so it's strong, but you can only use it. You can only use it once, and you can also use it at any turn versus only on the first turn. So that's the pros and cons. But either way, I could have given them Sludge Shot too, I guess, but they don't really need all that shit. They're fine. They got other coverage. I could totally throw it on there. There's only one abilities items left up here, but it's fine. I could do it at level 12. Maybe I will. If I do that, I'll do it after the hack, so yeah, after the video. But doesn't matter. Not a big deal. It's just coverage before you get Venom Shock and stuff, and Poison Jab and all that crap. And then obviously the other ones later, like Bar Barrage and stuff. So Swift Swim is great. Kingdra with 90 base speed and Swift Swim is great. And Kingdra actually loses Swift Swim because, so basically the way I wanted to do it is Kingdra with a Violite, which is, you get the Violite in the early 30s. So once you get a Violite, Kingdra is great, man. 55, 90, 70 bulk with Water Dragon typing and a Violite is really bulky overall. You can invest into bulk because you could use Swift Swim sets with no speed, so you can invest, for example, max defense and max special attack, for example, and you can run a Violite and just tank hits. Excuse me, sorry. This remix is nice, man. I like this part. Sure, like, I'm such a simple man, bro. You got my head bopping just for a little simple ass trap beat, but kind of reminds me of the XY's Elite Board theme a little bit with the, I don't know the musical terms for it, but the snare question mark? I don't know what it's called. Hi-hats, maybe? Don't know. I think it's snares, but yeah, Swift Swim's great on them, man. Fucking dope, super strong. 105 base special attack because Kingdra itself is also said to be able to like create whirlpools and yeah, like it weakens prey. So it's gotta have, and they also shoot. They're known for shooting out water from their mouth. You know, the course is literally based on that triggerfish, as well as a seahorse, obviously. Man, this part is nice. It's distracting me. I'm sorry. I should probably change it because it's distracting me. But either way. And of course you also get physical moves earlier overall to encourage use of your lower attack stat, but special stats are still fucking amazing, obviously. Like I said, Kingdra's great with a Violite. Something else is really cool for them. I'm getting all over the place. There's so much cool shit to cover for these guys. They're really fucking strong if you can't tell just by looking at the stuff they get, but a lot of stuff is self-explanatory, so I don't want to over-explain, but I also like to be thorough, so we'll do a little bit of both. So, Rapid Fire. Kingdra gets Mega Launcher. Fun fact, I was considering Water Dragon for Quetzalcoatl for a little while because I think it kind of fits, but I think Kingdra as the Water Dragon Mega Launcher mom with the dual stab, Torrential Pulse, Dragon Pulse nonsense is much stronger. Sorry, much more fitting, rather. I was going to say it's very strong, but it's much more fitting. Quetzalcoatl can stay pure water. If anything, it's actually unique in that sense because Mega Blastoise with Mega Launcher is Water Steel technically, so it is unique in them being pure water, and it will have a huge special attack, so it'll probably like base 145, 150 at least. It's going to be huge, and of course it's going to have Snipe Shot still and all this other cool crap. And Torrential Pulse is going to be a nuke, absolute nuke, even with only pure water. Also, pure water is a good defensive typing, man. Great defensive typing. So, yeah, that out of the way. Rapid Fire is great. It fits them because again they're like these little sniper fish with the little sniper mouths, and that's why Kingdra gets Mega Launcher. So the pre-evolutions can shoot things fast. Kingdra gets Mega Launcher because I felt like Mega Launcher felt kind of weird on Seadra and Horsey, especially Horsey. So that's pretty cool. I'll cover Rapid Fire users now. So Rapid Fire, as you guys have probably seen by now, is a new ability that is really strong. I talked about it a little bit with Hitmonchan, but Hitmonchan's moves are actually totally different than Blastoise and Seadra's Rapid Fire options. So what Seadra gets is a lot of really cool stuff. So Seadra gets, I guess I could get them Tri Attack too, but they don't really need it. So Seadra gets Bubble Barrage, which is in total it's 60 base power, but the benefit is number one is priority with Rapid Fire plus 3 priority, in fact. And the other benefit is just how useful the speed drop effect is, because you will get -3 speed total on the opponent, which is really good. So that's a really cool thing with Bubble Barrage. And that's stab, and that's level 21 as well, so it's pretty early. Horsey can have used that. It's same power as Water Pulse, so but Water Pulse is Mega Launcher boosted on Kingdra, but that's getting ahead of myself. Surging Strikes, which is so strong on them, despite only having 70 base attack. I mean, getting like Mega Blastoise has Surging Strikes with Rapid Fire technically, and so will Clawitzer. Oh crap! Actually, I forget if I was gonna make. I think Octillery is actually gonna be the Rapid Fire. Wait, I was talking about Mega Launcher anyways. Never mind. I'm getting my stuff mixed up, y'all. Yeah, Octillery will be the Rapid Fire one, and then Clawitzer will be the Mega Launcher. I am losing my words because that's weird ass effect they just had at the end of the video. Yeah, it's just really strong with Rapid Fire. Surging Strike's super strong, even with 70 base attack, because it can run a Choice Band. So you can literally just slap your Choice Band on Seadra and use Surging Strikes. Another really cool one is Bar Barrage. So what that is 60 base power total, 3 hits, and it always poisons, which is just really useful. So you get the poison damage on top of that, and that's really cool. So you can use like Choice Band, Rapid Fire with U-Turn plus Surging Strikes plus all this other crap, tons of stuff. I mean, you could use a lot of moves that's on Seadra. You can also do like, you can run 0 speed investment. Not the thing is with Seadra, despite having a naturally good speed stat, you can either use Swift Swim, which makes your 90 base speed uninvested super fast, or you can use Rapid Fire and just use only priority moves, because you also have regular priority with Aqua Jet and Bubble Shot and Draco Jet and Twister. So you have regular priority there too, and First Impression technically, I guess. Excuse me. Oh crap, there's 2 lunges there. Fix that. There we go. So besides that, you have a lot of other really cool stuff. Like I said, you can use like Coil or Swords Dance on a Violate with just max attack, max defense, and then just swallow attacks, and then just click. You can totally just click buttons, Swords Dance, tank a hit with your Water Dragon typing in a Violate. You know, like a Violate Seadra is genuinely a viable choice, especially because Swift Swim is so strong. It's stronger and faster than original Swift Swim Kingdra. So think about how strong Swift Swim Kingdra is, and then add 10 special attack and 5 speed onto that, and that's how strong Swift Swim Seadra is. So that's kind of the replacement, because it was kind of a shame to remove Swift Swim, because I thought it was pretty cool. On Kingdra, of course, it is pretty cool. It is very cool. But Drizzle is not only way more fitting, but also much stronger. Not much stronger, but it's strong. It's hard to explain. It's stronger and also not stronger in the same way, if that makes sense. So I thought keeping the spirit of Kingdra in Seadra is really cool. So you're literally just getting a bulkier overall. I mean, yeah, obviously it technically isn't as bulky, but with the Violate it's bulkier. So you can use, basically, it's like if you could use a weaker Kingdra with a Violate that is actually weaker defensively. Gosh, I am going on a tangent. Point is, it's similar to Kingdra, right? That's the point, and it's really cool. You can use that under Rain. You can use self-setting Swift Rain Dance, or you can use Drizzle allies, or other stuff that's really useful. And then again, Rapid Fire with Surging Strikes, Rapid Fire with Barrage, Rapid Fire with Bubble Barrage, and also you have 3 actual multi-hit moves, meaning they are variable hitting, so you can't guarantee that they'll hit a certain amount of times or guarantee damage, but they vary from 50 base power to 125 base power depending on how lucky you are. But even at worst, I mean, 50 base power priority on these moves is good. It's a good coverage. Also, on average, these moves are about 77.5 base power, I believe. So you're basically getting almost extreme speed level power on these moves, and the same priority as extreme speed, actually, in fact. So, actually, in fact, very good English, Dennis. So yeah, you got Icicle Spear, Pimpuscle, Spike Cannon, good coverage. Icicle Spear is a bit weird, I think, by level up. But I mean, it's rapid fire. I just wanted to throw it on there for rapid fire. If it was a TM or something, if I had enough room for TM Icicle Spear, I'd put it on TM. But there's not enough room for that. It's not a good enough move to be a TM. It's only really good on like early game sets or Technician Mons or Rapid Fire Mons or Skill Link Mons. Or like really niche coverage. But anyways, that's the beauty of Rapid Fire. And then the last thing they get with Rapid Fire, besides all those options, is a really, really fun one. And that is, where is it? Dragon Burst. So that is actually exclusive to pretty much just these guys, Hydreigon, and the long as I get to it for the most part. Maybe I'll find more eventually, but for now it's going to be these guys because these two have 3 heads, and then these guys have Rapid Fire. That's literally the only reason Kingdra has it is because of Rapid Fire. I think it's cool. I didn't plan Kingdra to have it when I made the move. I just thought of a way to make Dragon Rage actually usable outside of being busted as fuck early game. So I made it, was like, oh, let's make it a triple hit move. Originally it was going to be just for Hydreigon, then I realized, wait, kind of works for Alolan Eggy, and then, yeah. Also, for those of you guys who have watched Alolan Eggy's change guide, I actually did not talk about that there, and I'm not going to talk about it now because I added this after I made that video. But if you guys are curious, you can go to their section and then scroll here. So in the case where I will be adding stuff to the Mon that's relevant, because of course I've added little shit, like for example, I literally just talked about how I added Play Rough and Takedown to a bunch of Mons for TMs. That's not relevant enough for me to write it in here, but when I add when I make like big changes, I'll put it here. And if they eventually get big enough, so if I completely rework them on, then I'll make another video. But for this case, I just wanted to add this here, so you can read that up if you're interested in how to use Dragon Burst on. How do you make use of Dragon Burst on them? And in this case, it's actually much earlier because I think that on Kingdra it's good, but you can one-shot a lot of shit with better moves, and your move slots are probably better used on other moves. And with Kingdra, it's great. Especially because the beauty with Dragon Burst is not only is it 120 flat damage, which you guys might think is not that great at level 68, but so the thing is, it's great, but I want to cover this quickly because you might think it's you're thinking one of two things. You're either thinking it's great, you're either thinking it's mid or it's overpowered. Probably, I feel like the average person would think one of those two things, and it's neither. But I would definitely address both of those things. So 40 HP, which is times 3, 120. So not only does that also ignores focus hashes, that ignores focus hashes. I don't know if multi-skill even works for Dragon Rage, but if it does, then there you go. Bypasses multi-scale and stuff. Fun fact, I also consider multi-scale for them, but I believe Mega Gyarados will be Water Dragon with multi-scale, which is not as overpowered as it not. English is so hard. It is not as overpowered as it sounds, I promise you, because of stat distribution and stuff. They will be much less bulky and mixed attackers now, and there will be no Intimidate pre-Mega, so it won't be nearly as bulky or as overpowered as you think. I promise. But wait, actually, we're pretty close to Gyarados. Actually, we're pretty close to the end. English, man, I talk too fast. If you guys didn't know by now, Gyarados. We're actually pretty close to Gyarados. Is what I was trying to say. That out of the way, I can talk about Kingdra's abilities. What was I just talking about now? Dragon Burst. Yeah, last thing was Rapid Fire Dragon Burst. So, of course, Kingdra can make use of this too, but mostly it's for Kingdra because it's priority. So, it's priority. It completely ignores stat drops, stat boosts, all that stuff. It's just flat, guaranteed 120 damage plus 3 priority with Rapid Fire. Super fucking great. Kingdra can technically use it as like a Z move, I guess, too, if you wanted to do that, but you're probably better off just using straight up Dragon Burst. But thing with Dragon Burst is, let's say, okay, so I'm just gonna name a random Mon. So let's look at, also the only things that will stop this are like fairies, because it is really strong. But it's not as strong as you might think. Just gotta be prepared for it. So here's a Mon with good HP, sorry, Tangrowth. Tangrowth's a base 110 HP now. So let's look at Tangrowth at level 68 with max HP investment, right? So here you go, 110 maxed out. That hits 291 HP, so that gets 2-shot, man. I lied. No, it doesn't. Does it? No, I lied. 120 times 4 is 240, yeah. But if you take a Mon, say, with average HP, or actually, let's just use another example. So Kangaskhan here is 105 HP, which is really good as well. But I will be using that with 105. But let's say you're not running a bulky Kangaskhan, meaning you don't run HP investment. You only live Dragon Burst. You only just barely eke out not getting 2-shot with Dragon Burst. So anything with below 104 base HP with 0 investment gets 2-shotted, guaranteed, by Dragon Burst at level 68 once you learn the move. So plus 3 priority move that 2-shots literally everything that isn't a fairy type that has below 104 HP that doesn't have investment. And I believe the threshold for investment, I should be probably about 90 if I had to guess. No, it's high. Okay, it's a little higher than I gave it credit for. 70, 3. So with max HP investment, base 72 HP and below mons will still get 2-shot by it, guaranteed. And also, I want to clarify, 3-shot it is not bad. For a priority move, getting 3-shot is not bad, especially considering that Kingdra is not only really bulky to violate, but the best thing about Rapid Fire plus Dragon Burst, sorry, is that you literally do not have to invest in your offensive stats at all. You can literally just have Dragon Burst as your only attack and then just not use it against fairies. Or you could always run like fairy coverage if you really wanted to, but I would probably just switch out if I were you. You could literally just run Dragon Burst. And you can run Aqua Ring for healing and whatever else you wanted to throw on there for utility. You could run Aqua Ring and Parting Shot and Toxic Spikes and other utility moves. So tons of great stuff there, man. It's so brainless in the sense that you can literally just use... Oh, you could even, if you really wanted to be a fucking... a meme lord, you could totally use like Soak on a fairy to kill it, but I mean that's doing a little bit too much. Not to mention you have to take a fairy attack probably, but Soak is actually useful. So Soak is not useful for that. Soak is actually useful on all mons that get Soak. Most of them get it in the mid 20s or 30s, or early 30s rather. It's very useful because number one, for totems it completely nullifies their stab unless they're already water type. Because it doesn't add water typing, it replaces the type with water, so that can really cripple something and remove their stab moves. And you can also use that to hit them for super effective damage the next turn. In Kingdra's case, it can't do that. Besides Kingdra, Kingdra can use Thunderbolt and Thunder on it technically, and also you can use like Natural Gift with Electric or Grass move. But that's not the main appeal of it. The main appeal is Z-Soak, which will give you plus special attack, which is strong, especially because it ignores Taunt as well. But other cool stuff, you got I can't wait to get to Kingdra in a second, but yeah, that's about it for Kingdra, I guess. Again, with max bulk investment, let me just quickly put it in perspective. So let's say you run max HP, which is not great HP stat. I mean, that's a low HP stat, but that's balancing, and also because it's a pretty small mon, it's a little, that's not a little serious, but it's not as big as like Kingdra is. HP is based on size now, for the most part, more so than usual, but regardless, if you put, say, 90 defense with a Violite, oh crap, I'll put that in speed just to show you guys. Max defense, right? Then this is defense. I just want to see the stat at +1, which is the Violite. 315 defense, that's like... Oh, this would be level 100, sorry. 459 defense, yeah, that makes more sense. I knew that was too low, because this is usually a 306. I knew that 90 was plus 300 plus. So, yeah, 459 defense is huge. That's like, what? Yeah, like about... Oh, that's even higher, man. Off today. Yeah, there you go. So you're at, well, you got at max, you got about 160 base defense. Obviously, that's with max out stats, but again, point is it's really bulky. You can use that with Dragon Burst and Rapid Fire and just swallow hits with max HP, max defense, or max special defense. And then Kingdra, so that's enough for Kingdra, right? Point is, you can totally, because they evolve with the gem now, because a lot of Pokemon that I've balanced with a Violate in mind, which is not a lot, but a good amount, will evolve with this gem, so that way you don't have to be spammed with, oh, it's trying to evolve after every single fucking battle. That would be really annoying. So now you can choose to evolve your Kingdra at will. Sorry, evolve your Kingdra at will if you ever want to. You could totally never evolve it, and it's a totally viable option. Some people could argue that Kingdra's design is cooler than Kingdra. I think Kingdra is much more elegant, and I also think Kingdra's really strong. I know that Kingdra's really strong, but I think Kingdra's got its own little charm to it. I think it's a pretty solid, cool design. I like the spiky edginess of it. I like the body shape. I like how it almost kind of looks like a gun in a weird way. I don't know. Cool mon, man. Never really looked at it that much or cared about it. It's just pretty chill. And then also the same reason I think I mentioned earlier, Baneful Bunker, just because spikes. It's spiky, poison, protect. That's all Baneful Bunker is. Spiky, poison, protect. So any mon that has spikes and poison can get Baneful Bunker. And any mon that has poison and some type of way to guard itself, that would make sense. Like would get Baneful Bunker as well. Either way. Getting a bit sidetracked because I haven't been talking about the final form yet, but it is great. Kingdra, I mean, it went from being underwhelming to great. Like I said, Swift Swim kind of is recreated with Kingdra, so therefore Kingdra can just be its own thing now. So Kingdra has 85, 100, 100 bulk, which fits its, it has like these thick scales on it. Its Seahorse in general like are pretty armored looking. It looks pretty bulky defensively, and then 100 special defense is great too, and fits because it's kind of like this mystic mon. 85 HP because it's pretty large. I mean, he's almost 6 foot tall and 300 plus pounds, so it's 35 pounds, so it's pretty big. So 85 HP is pretty fair. And then your attack stat stays the same. 95 is good. It's not great, but it's good. And with 95 attack, you can use again, you can really, I would say physical Seadra is arguably better. The difference here is 35, difference here is 30, so I guess technically the difference is bigger on Seadra, but it's not really that big of a difference. But like I said, physical Kingdra is really viable still, especially if you got like a plus attack nature one, because you can use Dragon Dance, which is really huge on it, and you can use Swords Dance and Coil. Coil especially is really nice with Surging Strikes, and actually that's about it for inaccurate physical moves that it has. I guess there's a couple slightly inaccurate ones, but in terms of like significantly inaccurate, like 10% or higher mischance, it's literally only Surging Strikes on the physical side, but special side has tons of inaccurate stuff. So yeah, you've got 95 attack, which you keep. It's kind of weirdly high, but I mean that's just that's their stats that they had in their pseudos, and so I think that dropping it to any lower than 90 would be kind of weird, despite the fact that it doesn't look super physical. If it wasn't a pseudo, I would totally just make it like bad physical attack, all for special. But I think that's kind of anti-cool because that doesn't even make sense. But I don't know. I just think it's kind of lame. I think it should be able to run mixed sets or physical sets. Because with infinite ability capsules. Also, yeah, I have been neglecting to mention in a couple of these changes, guys, because I feel like it goes without saying now, but if it doesn't, you get infinite ability capsules, so you don't have to pick between these abilities. You can just pick for each battle, meaning you can just pick whichever you need whenever you need it, which is great. Absolutely great. So you've got 95 speed now, which is stronger because Kingdra actually lost Swift Swim, so it's going to need that speed boost for sure. And that's great with Dragon Dance, that's great with Choice Scarf, and that's great with all of the priority. Sorry, that's not relevant because it has tons of priority moves as well. So you might. A mom with 85 HP, 100 defensives, and 95 speed seems almost in the context of the hack and the parallels in the hack almost underwhelming. But that's when you have to remember Kingdra's typing, which is excellent, absolutely excellent. Tons of resistances. Look at that, man. 2 4 times resistances are really common types, although under the rain it's only 2 times resistance. But fire is an 8 times resistance in the under the rain, which is really great. You're weak to dragon, weak to fairy, and you resist steel, so it's got a lot of good resistances. And then you got Mega Launcher and Drizzle, so that is the main reason for the. I wouldn't say you could argue, but you might look at those stats and be like, hey, they're actually not that great, but they are great when you consider it. So 125 special attack, like I said, my man creates whirlpools by yawning. My man fucking fights Dragonite eternally and creates storms and spiraling ocean currents, creates whirlpools every single time it moves. So makes a lot of sense. I would give them Marvel skill because their shield sheds scale shed. That would actually be pretty cool to have Marvel skills at trainers only ability, just to get the defense boosts to make them bulkier. But I don't see a reason I would ever give a trainer anything other than Drizzle or Mega Launcher Kingdra, so I opted not to bother even putting that in there. But I did think about it, so don't think I just didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, 125 special attack with Drizzle and Mega Launcher, that's really all I gotta say, man. Dual stab, I mean, it's strong. It hits hard, really hard. So you can use Drizzle with Thunder, you can use Drizzle with Hurricane, and then you can use Drizzle with your Water Stab. And then, of course, Drizzle will activate teammates' abilities as well, which is really useful. And with Damp Rock, you will get 11 total turns of rain. So that's almost permanent rain. I mean, that's like half the damn battle, probably, in some cases. Not all cases, of course, but a lot of battles that might be like over half of the battle or almost half the battle if you run. But of course, that's sacrificing an item slot, which is a big deal. So I would only use that if you need the turns. Like, for example, if you're running a rain team, then it's totally useful. And with a rain team, you can use Parting Shot or U-turn to get out of there too. So that's really useful. And you have good bulk. You can also run Assault Vest. 85, 100, 100 with Water Dragon. Assault Vest is very bulky here, useful. And then under rain, you have Aqua Jet and Bubble Shot early game. You don't get priority on any of these rapid fire moves anymore, but you do have really strong moves with Drizzle and 120 special attack. I mean, guys, it's huge. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, but 50% boost on either your water moves and you get guaranteed Thunder and Hurricane, or 50% boost on your Torrential Pulse, Water Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse, which Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse are kind of weird moves in my opinion, but like, I mean, fucking Blastoise got them for Mega Launcher, so I don't see a reason why Kingdra can't get the exact same treatment. They literally gave Squirtle fucking Aura Sphere Dark Pulse by Egg move, literally just for Mega Launcher, so I don't see it being weird on Kingdra at all. If anything, you could argue the Aura Sphere makes more sense on Kingdra, but either way, those are all very strong. So with Drizzle, you get a 50% boost, which is not the same as adaptability. It's actually stronger than adaptability because it's a 2.25 boost because it stacks with your stab. It doesn't just add on. Like with adaptability, it turns the stab multiplier into a double multiplier, which is still great, obviously. But with any ability that boosts by 1.5, any other ability in the entire game that boosts by 50%, it stacks. It becomes 2.25 with stab, so it's really strong. Which is significantly stronger. It has 24% boost. That's the same, almost the same as a life orb boost, almost. So huge difference there. And what that means is they can really take advantage of. Why am I in the signature move section? Sorry. What's it called? You got Aura Sphere that becomes 135 base power. You got Dark Pulse, which becomes 128 base power. With their each with their own additional effects. Actually, Aura Sphere has none besides special defense drop, I believe, and then Dark Pulse flinches and puts nightmares, which I guess you could use a funny set with like Yawn and Dark Pulse if you wanted to, but anyway, not the most reliable. Although Yawn is very good for setup. Yawn with their good bulk, and you can totally use like Coil or Swords Dance or Kingdra itself gets Calm Mind. I think it fits because it's like kind of this, he lives in uninhabited. He's kind of like they kind of live probably like to conserve their power a little bit. Like they don't seem super aggressive. I think Calm Mind fits well enough. Kind of serene, living on the ocean floor, and this mystic dragon Pokemon, so it works. And this remix is getting annoying too. I mean, I'll just throw this Insurgent Steam. It actually fits, and it was recommended. And it fits. I like a lot of Insurgent music, but anyways, yeah, it fits, and we're almost done with this. Changing it anyways. Hopefully, we finish this by the time this loops once or twice. Yeah, like I said, Calm Mind's great, Dragon Dance great, all this great setup. Like I said earlier as well, lots of great coverage on all sides now. They had very one of their biggest flaws was a really underwhelming move pool. Now they have Hurricane, Thunder, Fighting moves, Dark moves, Poison moves, more Steel moves, and then the really strong shit that you get with Mega Launcher. So you get the 2 coverage moves, right, which are available as soon as you evolve. Actually, rather every single move with Rapid Fire, Mega Launcher rather, would be available. Besides Torrential Pulse, which you learn late, obviously, because it's overpowered. It would be overpowered otherwise. But Water Pulse becomes 90 base power with both abilities. It gets the same boost with both abilities, but 50% chance to raise your stats, which is useful. Dragon Pulse by Move Tutor. Around the time you're evolving, pretty much around exactly the time that you evolve, you will get 100 base power, 30% paralysis rate Dragon Pulse, which is huge. I mean, that's just huge, man. You can use that with Mega Launcher and just hit for 150 base power completely. Very strong. And then you don't even lose the added effect like with Sheer Force. You get a stronger boost and you don't lose the effect. So I believe they are one of the only dragons that I will be giving Mega Launcher to, besides maybe like Turtonator or something. I'm not sure yet, but most likely just these guys. We will see. Maybe a Mega or something. But regardless, super cool shit, man. Kingdra's really strong, like I said, 120 special type with those moves is great. You got Waterfall with Dragon Dance, you've got Surging Strikes with Dragon Dance, you've got Dragon Rush, Dragon Hammer early on, you've got Water Spout, which is really strong. You can use like Scarf Kingdra is just strong in general. I mean, 95 speed with 120 special type, you're only clicking like 2 moves anyways. That's exaggeration. Obviously, you can use tons of great different things, but if you want to go Unga Bunga, you can totally run Scarf. And like I said, you can just swap the items on and off for whatever situations in front of you. So, oh crap, this trainer gets shit on by Scarf Kingdra. Let's just throw a Scarf on and click, I don't know, whatever move you want to click, Water Spout. Torrential Pulse with Mega Launcher is insane. That becomes, let's do the math, I think 158 base power, but let's check. Oh crap, 105, not 150, sorry. Yeah, 158 base power, that's not even factoring in stab. And you have the same 15% chance to raise all your stats by 1. Only downside is you have a 10% chance to miss, which is nothing in terms of how strong it is. That's a very, very drawback. Especially because 50% of the time you're getting all your stats boosted. Sorry, just went all the way back up. Here we go. Yeah, really useful stuff, man. I don't even know where else to go. Like with this, there's just so much great stuff. Lots of great coverage, like I said, added. Oh, last major thing, like I said, you have Water Spout and Whirlpool are really strong. But their last really, really powerful option that I want to cover is Snipe Shot. And man, Snipe Shot is also really fucking strong. So Snipe Shot is a semi-signature move. More mons will be getting it, like Octillery on Zeta, Clowitzer, any Watermon that can like shoot water out of like a concentrated area specifically, like that they're known for that. So it's basically like a really high-powered water gun that comes out super fast and super strong. And that is just powerful, man. It would be cool if I kept sniper on them, although it would be ruthless, and ruthless doesn't really fit them, in my opinion. But yeah, man, it's just awesome with snipe shot. That is essentially so it always crits, so it bypasses stat drops. So what you could do is you could run like Drizzle Kingdra with Hydro Cannon. This is a really good card, and Draco Meteor. So you can run like Hydro Cannon, Draco Meteor, both of which are 150 base power and will drop your Dragon Meteor. It's Dragon Ascent. Draco Meteor, which will drop your special attack by 2. So you know, oh no, my special attack is dropped by 2. I mean, even then you can use it again and still get 75 base power, which is an average of 113 or 112 base power for 2 uses of the move, which is great. But the beauty is with snipe shot, so you can fire off a Draco Meteor or you can fire off a rain boosted Hydro Cannon with 125 special attack, and then you can just click snipe shot. And you crit and you ignore your stat drop. That's the beauty of those types of moves. Same thing with Surging Strikes and Superpower, but it's not as great on this mon. But a lot of other mons will get great Surging Strikes. Surging Strikes moves with like that drop your stats after. Tons of mons already have that, but point is Kingdra with Snipe Shot is great. 95 speed is completely ignored with the +3 priority on this move. It's the same as Rapid Fire priority. So that gives them a nice priority special option. It's much stronger than Bubble Shot. So at this point in the game, you'd be getting rid of Bubble Shot if you kept it for priority, which is totally, you know, a good option. Don't get me wrong. But then you'll be getting rid of it at level 70. And there's a reason it's the last move. There's a reason you only learn it for like 2 battles and then the league. Also, that's another thing I want to clarify is by the time you're level 68 and 70 respectively, you'll be fighting like Mina's Trial, Gladion, and Habu. You'll be fighting those. You'll basically just have Victory Road, and then the league is level 100 because of rare candies and stuff, and because I don't want people to overlevel either on accident, meaning like you go in, let's say it was level 80, you go in, then you're gonna level up from the Pokemon. It would be hard to make the level curve, especially if you use one mon a bunch. You'd be getting overleveled, so it's better just to make it level 100. That's just for the better. And then you never have to worry about levels again for the rest of the hack for all the post game as well. So yeah, any point, and there's no point in being any higher than level 100 at that point in the game. But yeah, Snipe Shot is just so powerful, man. It's 75 base power total, so it's almost extreme speed, 5% power lower than extreme speed overall. Mons with battle armor and all these other battle armor and what's the other ability that blocks crits? Shell armor. Mons with battle armor and shell armor will obviously ignore that, but that is not really a big deal. It's a buff for those mons, but I mean, otherwise, if you don't have that, better pray, because it's going to do shoulder damage. It's bypassing stat drop, so you can use Hydro Cannon plus Snipe Shot, you can use Draco Meteor plus Snipe Shot, or you can also ignore opponent stat boosts. So let's say they get a special defense boost, you just snipe right through that. You completely shit on them through it. Very powerful. I debated not giving it to them, but I think it fits too well not to give it to them. And also they're pseudos, so I think having something really powerful at level 70 is fun, especially because a lot of the other pseudos have megas, so kind of balances out there. Yeah, Snipe Shot's super powerful, man. I already went over the benefits of the crit. Super strong, great on the rain. And it's also great on, you could use it on Mega Launcher sets too, although you probably want it with Drizzle. Also, another good thing with Mega Launcher is that you don't have to run Rain, which could totally hinder your side of the field in specific cases. For example, if you have Fire Mons or you just don't want the Rain up, because that's a totally viable and valid thing, to not want up at all times. You can just run Mega Launcher in that case too, and just use Kingdra for its bulk and its typing and its stab and all that crap. Yeah, that's about it, man. They're just super powerful. Cool pseudo legendaries. I have a newfound appreciation for these guys. I actually like them a lot now. I wasn't a huge fan of Kingdra before, but after giving them this special treatment, not special treatment, let me rephrase. After giving them, you know, the typical treatment I give other mons, but I meant that as special, if that makes sense. Like I give all these mons special treatment is my point. Like I give them all my special treatment, if that makes sense. Like my little pizzazz, my little routine, my little flair, and that's really fun. I really like these guys now. Super fun, super strong. That covers about everything. Hopefully there's nothing I missed. Yeah, y'all. Super fun, guys. See ya.